I still remember the exact moment I realized I was never their favorite. Not second favorite. Not even an option. Just there. Growing up, it was always about my sister, Emily. Emily this. Emily that. Emily is so talented. Emily is so beautiful. Emily is going places. And me? I was just her brother. I wasn't a bad kid. I got decent grades. I stayed out of trouble. I even tried really hard to make my parents proud. But no matter what I did, it was never enough. Because Emily existed. Let me give you an example. When I was 14, I won second place in a state-level science competition. I spent months building that project. Late nights. No help. Just me. I came home that day, holding my trophy like it actually meant something. I thought maybe this time, maybe they'll see me. But when I walked in, my parents were too busy celebrating Emily. She had just gotten selected for a local fashion show. They had balloons. A cake. Music. For her. I stood there, holding my trophy. And my mom just looked at me and said, "Oh, that's nice." That's it. That was my moment. 2 words. That's nice. That night, I sat in my room staring at that trophy, and something inside me changed. Not anger. Not sadness. Just realization. I didn't matter. Years passed. Nothing changed. If anything, it got worse. Emily started getting everything. Better clothes. Better phone. More freedom. Meanwhile, I had to earn everything. Even basic things. When I asked for a new laptop for school, my dad said, "Do you really need it?" 2 weeks later, Emily got the latest one. Just because hers was old. I stopped asking after that. Stopped expecting. Stopped hoping. By the time I turned 18, I had one goal. Get out. I worked part-time jobs. Saved every dollar. While Emily partied, shopped, and lived her perfect life. I was planning my escape. College was my way out. I applied to multiple universities. Got accepted into a decent one. Not Ivy League, not something my parents could brag about. But it was mine. I earned it. The day I told my parents, I expected something. Anything. Pride. A smile. "We're happy for you." Instead, my dad just said, Okay. And my mom? She asked, "Will this affect Emily in any way?" That question hit harder than anything else. Even my future somehow revolved around her. A week later, I found out something that changed everything. My parents had been secretly saving money. Not for me. For Emily. A huge college fund. Private university. Out of state. Full support. Meanwhile, I had to take student loans. Work jobs. Figure it out myself. That night, I confronted them. For the first time in my life. I spoke up. I asked. Why? Just one word. Why? My mom sighed like I was being difficult. My dad didn't even look at me. And then he said something I will never forget. Emily has more potential. We're investing where it matters. That was it. That was the moment. The final confirmation. I wasn't just less important. I was a bad investment. I didn't argue. Didn't yell. Didn't cry. I just nodded, went to my room, and quietly packed my bags. Because at that moment, I made a promise to myself. I would never depend on them again. Not emotionally. Not financially. Not ever. I left home 2 weeks later. No big goodbye. No hugs. No "we'll miss you." Just silence. And honestly, that silence followed me for years. College wasn't easy. I worked 2 jobs. Barely slept. Ate cheap food. Struggled more than anyone around me. But for the first time in my life, every small achievement felt real. Because I earned it. No one handed me anything. No one favored me. No one ignored me. It was just me. Against the world. And slowly, I started winning. Winning didn't happen overnight. It wasn't some dramatic movie moment where everything suddenly falls into place. No. It was slow. Painfully slow. There were nights I questioned everything. Nights I stared at the ceiling thinking, was I really not good enough? Were they right about me? But every time those thoughts came, I remembered that moment. Emily has more potential. And instead of breaking me, it fueled me. I stopped trying to prove myself to them, and started proving myself to me. By my 3rd year in college, things started changing. I landed an internship. Not because of connections. Not because of family. But because I worked harder than anyone else. That internship turned into an opportunity. And that opportunity changed my life. Fast forward 2 years. I had a stable job. Good salary. My own apartment. My own life. No help. No support. No family. And honestly, I was okay with that. Because for the first time, I felt respected. Meanwhile, I hadn't heard from my parents in years. No calls. No messages. Nothing. And I didn't reach out either. Until one day, out of nowhere, my phone rang. I looked at the screen and froze. Mom calling. For a second, I thought it was a mistake. But it kept ringing. I picked up. Slowly. Carefully. Hello? There was silence on the other end. Then, a voice I hadn't heard in years. Hey, it's Mom. Not "we miss you." Not "how are you." Just that. I didn't know what to say. So I stayed quiet. She hesitated, then said, "We need to talk." Those 4 words. After years of silence. I almost laughed. But something in her voice was different. Nervous. Weak. So I asked. About what? There was a pause. And then she said something I never expected. It's about Emily. Of course it was. Some things never change. But what she said next changed everything. Emily is in trouble. I felt nothing. No shock. No concern. Just emptiness. Apparently, Emily had dropped out of college. The same college my parents spent everything on. The same investment. She got involved with the wrong people. Bad habits. Bad decisions. Money disappeared. Opportunities gone. And eventually, she came back home. With nothing. My parents had spent years building her future. And in a few months, it all collapsed. And now, they didn't know what to do. My mom's voice started shaking. We thought, maybe you could help. There it was. Not "we miss you." Not "we're sorry." Just, "We need something from you." After years of ignoring me, now I mattered. Not as a son, but as a solution. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and asked, What exactly do you want? She hesitated. Then said, can you support her? Financially, maybe help her get back on track? For a moment, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The same people who said I wasn't worth investing in were now asking me to invest in her. The irony was almost funny. Almost. I stood there, silent, processing everything. And then, for the first time in years, I spoke honestly. No. Just one word. Silence. My mom didn't expect that. What do you mean, no? I didn't raise my voice. Didn't get emotional. I just said, you made your choice. Years ago. Another pause. Heavier this time. We're still your family, she said softly. I let out a small laugh. Not out of humor, but disbelief. Was I? That question hit harder than any argument. Because deep down, they knew the answer. I wasn't. Not when it mattered. There were no words after that. No dramatic yelling. No crying. Just silence. The same silence they gave me years ago. And for once, they felt it too. Before hanging up, my mom said something quietly. We made mistakes. But it was too late. Because some things don't get fixed with words. After that call, I sat alone for a while. Not sad. Not angry. Just at peace. Because I finally understood something. I didn't lose my family. They lost me. And that was their biggest regret? If you made it this far, I want to ask you something. Have you ever felt like you were never enough, no matter what you did? Like no matter how hard you tried, someone else was always chosen over you? If yes, just know this. Your worth is not decided by people who fail to see it. Sometimes, the people who are supposed to support you the most are the ones who teach you how to stand alone. And maybe that's not a weakness. Maybe that's your greatest strength. If this story hit you, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe for more real, emotional stories like this. And comment below. What would you have done in this situation? Because sometimes, the best revenge is becoming everything they said you couldn't be.